Hi, fourth graders. We're taking a look at lesson 86 today, and we're going to see about multiplication with zeros at the end of it. So when we look at this, when we multiply by tens, we can look at the basic fact first. So if we have 60 times 40, what we want to do is we want to think about the idea of 6 times. All right, there we go. We want to think of the idea of 6 times 4. So instead of thinking of 60 times 40, just think of it as 6 times 4. And let's just kind of put a line through those zeros a little bit. Okay, so once we figure out what 6 times 4 is, 6 times 4 is 24, so we put it on our line. And then we see how many zeros are sitting at the end. Well, I have 1, 2 zeros sitting out there. So I put 1, 2 zeros at the end, and I have 2,400. Okay, that is going to be the easiest way to do that. We can figure out different ways to do it, but this is the best way to do it when you're looking at that. Here's another example of it. If we have the horse needs 50 pounds of oats per month, if I had 20 horses, how many pounds of oats would I need per month? So first we have to look at it and say, okay, per month and 20 horses, so that means I need 50 for each horse. So my basic fact, well, first of all, my actual fact would be 20 times 50. And I can say 50 times 20, it doesn't matter. The commutative property of multiplication means that I can flip-flop the numbers back and forth. So my basic fact here, I have a 2 and I have a 5. So I'm going to say my basic fact is 2 times 5. Now, how many zeros do we have at the end of the numbers? I have 1 and 2. I have 2 zeros at the end. So the final answer would be 2 times 5 equals 10. So I put my 10 down there, and then I have 1, 2 zeros, so I put the 2 zeros at the end. Okay, we're learning this in the more mental math idea. We're not doing 2-digit times 2-digit multiplication stuff and all the other type of math that goes with that. We're just looking at how can we do this with more of a mental math process. So let's take a look at a few different examples. Try and do these. I want you to kind of think these through in your head before I end up writing the answers down. So the first one we have is 20 times $7. 20 times $7. So I want you to think, first, what's your basic fact? Go ahead and say it. Okay. 2 times 7. Good. 2 times 7. That's our basic fact. Okay. Now, how many zeros do we have? All right. Hopefully you said 1, 2, 3. I have 3 zeros there. So I do my 2 times 7, which is 14. And then I have 1, 2, 3 zeros. So I put 1, 2, 3 zeros on the end. Now we are not done with this one because I see a little guy right there, that decimal point. And I have 2 numbers behind that decimal point. Because I have 2 numbers behind the decimal point when I'm multiplying, over here, I need to have 2 numbers behind the decimal point over here. So 1, 2 numbers behind the decimal point, 1, 2 numbers behind the decimal point. And then we put our $ in to make sure that we have the money idea. So $140. Okay, so we did the 20 times the $7. We said 2 times 7. And then we did 2 times 7 is 14. There's 1, 2, 3 zeros. 1, 2, 3 zeros. 2 numbers behind the decimal point. 2 numbers behind the decimal point. So voila, there we go. Okay, so let's take a look at the next one. So what's our basic fact? Okay, hopefully you said 6 times 7. 6 times 7. All right, so we have to know what our basic fact would equal. 6 times 7 equals 42. And then how many zeros do we have? Let's see, we have 1, 2, 3 zeros. So I have 1, 2, 3 zeros, and I go 1, 2, 3, comma, put in my comma, and so I end up with 42,000. All right, the last one on here. My basic fact is what? 4 times 9. 4 times 9 is going to be 36. We remember the digits add up to 9, and the first digit is 1 less than what we're multiplying 9 by. So that we know that it's a 3, and then 3 plus 6 is 9, so it has to be 36 for my answer. All right, now those zeros. I have 1, 2, 3 zeros. 1, 2, 3 zeros. And then I put my comma in, and we have 36,000. Okay, so that's the process that goes with that lesson today. Keep working on those basic facts too. Just review them all the time. And then also make sure that you're, when you go over your homework assignment, make sure that you double check your work and that you read the questions correctly. Make sure you're also putting the labels on the end of them too. Okay, keep it going. We're almost there.